It's the way to go. Eat a fig, not a pig. Let your kindness show. If it's your wig or a jig or a swig, do you dig? Big. It's the way to go. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's fat. And here's our show. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
I've just got that vegan glow, like a drag queen calling Patrick Goudreau. I'm a YouTube vegan cooking up good eating. Veganism makes me glow. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
All right, vegans, all together now. When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's fat.
It's the way to go.
It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big Fat Vegan Radio. We're podcasting from New York City
and San Francisco
to discuss veganism in all of its glory. I'm here with Laura Yaz, vegan writer and entertainment know-it-all.
And I'm here with Ben Strothman, otherwise known as Honey LeBronx, everyone's favorite vegan drag queen.
You can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube by searching for Big Fat Vegan Radio.
And you can follow along with our show notes at bigfatveganradio.com.
Happy anniversary, Laura!
Oh, thanks, Ben. Happy anniversary to you, too.
Thank you so much. I was just waiting for that. And flowers.
Frying it out of my cold
chocolates. And maybe a night out on the town.
All right, I'll take you out. Relax.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, first you got to fly me out. But yes, today is, I don't remember if our first episode officially went up May 1st or May 5th. I think it was May 1st. I think I was pretty on time with it. But yeah, this is it.
I think you were on time with it, which was one of the, it caused problems, actually. You were so good about getting it on time.
Oh my God. It was not easy to do because I had to figure out how to podcast at the same time I was trying to stay on a deadline.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, with today's episode, this is the beginning of our second year. So we've just finished our first full year of doing this podcast.
Yeah,
which is funny to me because in the back of my head, like every now and then I'll be like walking home from the gym and thinking about the podcast, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna call it Big Fat Vegan Radio, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're not thinking about doing it anymore. We're not like trying to figure out how to get it set up. It's like,
well, we sort of are.
It's like a thing, though. Like, we're set up. Like,
it's true. We are
already been listening
live.
to it. Yeah, I'm so excited about that.
It's true stuff.
Yeah, but we thought maybe, instead of doing a whole like love fest, like yay, let's look back on our lives and reflect on the wonder that is us.
We can't get through that without me vomiting, so it's not happening.
Yeah. And to be honest, that actually was my first and original idea. I was like gonna just do a dream sequence or something, and I was gonna I was gonna cast a dream Ben and then a singer Ben, and we were gonna go into a dream ballet sequence, very Agnes DeMille. But instead, I just thought we would just quickly tell you guys just a little brief history. Just how we got this thing started and how Laura and I came together.
Well, we'll just tell a story. I don't think we need to tell a history. We can just tell a story. I've got a story.
I had bullet points and a timeline.
So how about
here.
I tell the story because it'll be great.
You tell the story.
I'm a good storyteller.
You tell the story, and I'll fill in what I perceive to be any gaps.
Okay. Well, I was at the V Spot in Brooklyn with my friend Michael Heron. I think you guys have heard us mention him once or twice. And we were having dinner, and I was talking about podcasting and how I wanted to do one. And I was like, basically I was just talking to him about how, I don't know, I want to do this, I want to do that, but that person does this person does that, and I don't know, I don't want to do it. And it was like a lot of me like gum flapping, and Michael looks at me and he goes, well, why don't you just do it with Ben? He wants to do a podcast. And I was like, do you think I should do that? And he's like, yeah. I mean, if you want to, he wants to, do it with him. And I was like, oh, well, and I think I mumbled over it for about 10 minutes. And then after dinner, I just called Ben and I said, do you want to do a podcast?
And here we are.
And the rest is history, my friends.
Yeah, Michael's podcast, Mikey Pod, was one of the original podcasts. Like, apparently, he was doing his podcast before there was an iTunes music store, I guess.
Yeah, he was podcasting. He's one of he was. He's like that with a lot of things. Yeah,
and then he had Meat Free Radio, and I think he was involved in some other podcast as well. And the funny thing is, Michael and I used to, every now and then we will still, but we used to do like morning affirmations together by phone. And he and I have such a weird chemistry and such a funny, like, what we find funny together. And it's always fun hanging out with him on the phone. And I was telling him, I'm like, Michael, we should do a podcast one day. And for a long time, he was like, yeah, we'll do a podcast. And then I was like, kind of like planning on doing it. And he's like, Mary, the last thing I need in my life is to do another podcast. He's like, I can't. And the funny thing is, knowing Michael as I do, and now knowing what's involved in the podcast, I could not ever imagine subjecting him to this. Like, all right, Michael, well, we have a deadline. We have to do this. We have to do that. But you and I, who've never done it before, we just waltzed into it like, just gonna do a podcast. No big deal. And now I feel like we have a child. And I'm like, wait, I didn't know you have to feed these things.
Surprising. What is it? I was out with Melissa Elliott, who's the author of The Vegan Girl's Guide to Life, and a bunch of other people. We went to Animal Place, had a fundraiser at Saturn, Eat at Saturn. They donate a percentage of the check to Animal Place. So we were, of course, ran into a million people we know. So we ended up sitting at this huge table with all these people. And somebody was trying to get a book deal, I guess, with a publisher. And so Melissa was answering some of the questions, and she started laughing. She was like, I don't recommend writing a book, which is funny because she has written a book. And I laughed. I said, I don't recommend having a podcast. And she laughed, and everyone's like, wait, why? And it's like, just because, it's like, it's funny. It's just, it's like, I don't know. It's like people who become doctors, right? They're always like, don't become a doctor.
Yeah. Well, it's like when I watch a movie, in my mind, I'm like, the movie took 2.5 hours long. Maybe, I don't know, did it take maybe like 2 days to film? Like, I don't understand how these things aren't just filmed in real time. Like, they're not literally just panning back and forth with the camera. When you see a different camera angle, that literally is a whole other setup and a whole other take, and et cetera, et cetera. And I remember, when I first started listening to Colleen Patrick Goudreau's Vegetarian Food for Thought podcast, when she would talk about please donate to the podcast, I'm like, I don't understand what expenses go in. She's just sitting there with her computer and her built-in microphone, right? And she would always talk about, oh my God, the podcast takes so much time. And I can only imagine how much time her podcast takes because it's so thought out and so well
she
researched.
Writes it. She's reading. I think, I'm not totally sure, but most of the time to me it sounds as if she's authored the whole thing and then she's reading it, which is I mean, it's a whole we don't do that. We do it like radio, what Ben and I do. We don't write our script. So we do, but we don't write we don't write it. We write an outline. We don't write a script.
Unlike radio, it's not live, and we're not one of those podcasts that we like just put it out there. Like we do edit. Of course we do. I really like to edit the podcast just so it sounds nice. And our first ever episode, I took out the ums and the ahs. I was like, no, we're gonna sound as nice and polished and whatever. But yeah, like I like to have fun with it and just clean it up and make it sound, I don't know, I think that kind of gives it its own little personality.
Well, I will say that I think we've done an awesome job putting our stamp on it, and I feel really good about that. I feel like it's really our style, our type of humor, our personalities, I think, are all over the podcast. I couldn't be more happy with that. You know what I mean? I feel like it's really us and what we're like and how we are and our relationship, which is hilarious and awesome. And yeah, we're being honest. That's the most interesting thing to do, in my opinion.
And I forget about those things until people write in and tell us what the podcast means to them and how they like. Oh
my God,
it's all every time one of you guys writes to us being like, "Here's what your podcast means to me." I'm always flabbergasted. I'm like, really?
I know, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just glad people like it because that's the way I feel about everything. Especially at this point in my life, I guess I've just reached this point because it's interesting. I think back to some of the stuff I did when I was younger. I definitely didn't have this attitude. I don't really care if people like it. I want to like it. I want to have fun doing it, and I want it to be something that I would enjoy. So I feel that way about the podcast. I like it. I think it's funny and interesting, and I'm so glad people like it. It's so flattering that people like it because it's great, because it's, I'm just doing what I like, and I'm glad you like it too,
Yeah. Yeah. And we're big fans of other podcasts as well. And I know, and it's funny, when we first started off, I kind of felt like, oh, well, we have to be as always right about things as I perceive Colleen Patrick Goudreau to be. And we have to be as up to snuff on news issues as our hen house is. And like in my mind, we had I felt like to be a podcast is to be the best aspects of everything that I love. And really quickly along the way, I started realizing that that it doesn't have to be that, but it can.
Well,
it can just...
one of the things you're saying is, oh shoot, I gotta get used to this. Gotta get to this microphone stand. One of the things you're saying, which is, about us just being true to who we are, is that, Colleen, she's a teacher, she's an educator, so that's what she does. And, Marianne, she's a lawyer, and, so that's what she does. And, the bottom line of what you and I do is we're entertainers. That's what we do. I'm a comedy writer, and you're a drag queen and an actor and a performer. And so that's how we take our passion to this, is to make a goofy, funny thing that's hopefully entertaining, and we talk about veganism. I mean, it's we are who we are, and that's the most important thing, is to embrace that, I think, and not try to be something else. So we're talking about it too much. Oh my God, this is going on too long.
I know. I'm always like, Laura didn't want to talk about this at all, and now
it's his fault. This is Ben's fault. I
Up.
don't want to talk about it. I feel like it's ego stroking.
I definitely have to say, in retrospect, I am shocked how much work this is.
Of course.
The fact that I had to set my alarm today to wake up and record at a certain time with you, and I had to have a script together on time, and of course I didn't, so I had to just kind of fudge it at the last minute. But it is
you weren't ready? That's so unusual.
Yeah, I know. My God.
You must be really off your game today.
What's that?
You just must be really off today.
I'm going through it, kind of, sort of. It's been a tough couple of weeks for me. It's been a tough couple of weeks for me.
Okay, let me lighten things up. So,
not going into it, but...
I taught the twins that monkeys say, ooh, 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 ah, 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 right? So when they see a monkey, I'm not kidding. You can't make this stuff up. One of the girls, she points, I'll hold up the little monkey toy. I go, guys, what's this? And the little brunette, she'll point at it, and she goes, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then the redhead points at it, and she goes, ah, ah, ah. It's amazing.
It sounds like a song by Sting and the Police.
It's so cute. Ooh, 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 ah, ah,
oh, you're making me want to have kids.
Yeah, well, those girls make people want to have kids.
Yeah.
Those are the babies to do it. I took them over to my friend Michael. This is back in Queens when we were living in Queens. And I took them to my friend Michael's house just for an afternoon. And he was holding one of them, and he was like, oh my God, I want a baby. I was like, yeah, that baby makes you want to have a baby. She's an angel. She's so beautiful and sweet.
Well, you could make additional income off of them. You should do like a baby rental.
I wish.
In Central
I don't
Park,
feel like their mom is going to have issues with that.
In Central Park, you can rent a bike. You don't want to have a bike or keep it at your house, but you can certainly rent one and take it around the park. Mm-hmm. You should bring a stroller, and then someone gives you
But they're going to want to touch the babies, and it gets complicated.
Well, no, you don't let them touch the baby. Just let them walk them around in the stroller, one lap around the park, and then
so they can
back.
Get the oohing and the awing. It is nice.
And then you hold their ID. So if they come back and the baby's missing, you're well, fair is fair. I have your driver's license.
I'm keeping your driver's license. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever find her, please return her to us.
What do you think something like that would go for? $50 a spin?
I think $50 a spin is good.
$100 for twins.
Start. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay.
No, I'd say $150 for twins because it's more. They're more than the sum of their parts.
It's true, and then you get the double stroller and the whole. Yeah. I mean, you really can stop traffic with that double pink.
Really
stroller.
A status thing. So Laura, what did you have for dinner last night?
Oh, I actually went to plant-based pizza again, and I am continuingly to only become a bigger fan of that place. And I feel like they're doing really well. I feel like it's always busy. Well, not busy, but there's always people there. There's always business. I had the burger, which I've only had pizza there, so I'm trying to expand and try the rest of the menu. So I had a burger, and I had a cheesy garlic sticks and a spinach salad. It was all fabulous.
It sounds pretty fancy.
It was
fancier,
good.
Fancier than what I
good.
had.
It was actually too much food. I still have the salad. I'm going to eat it later.
Mm-hmm. That's fancier than what I had.
What'd you have?
Well, one of the things that I had, I'm going to talk about for Big Fat Vegan Food.
So save it.
What's that?
So save it.
Well, so I'll save it, but I just basically whipped up a little something quick at home, and I'll talk about this in the review, but I kind of messed it up, so it wasn't quite as delicious as it could have been. But I went to the gym. I didn't really have dinner last night. I went to the gym last night, and since we interviewed Mindy Collette, I am off the Gatorade. Mindy, if you're listening, I'm off the Gatorade. All thanks to you. Woo! Dateorade, which my roommate Kitten Withwit pointed out to me. He's like, just every time you say Dateorade, I feel like some bully should just magically appear and punch you in the stomach. He's like, you realize that's one of the things that you should get punched in the stomach for saying, right? And I was saying it very matter-of-factly, like, oh, well, I'm going to make some Dateorade right now. And he's like, shut up! But I went to the gym, so I put 10 dates in a blender with I'm still figuring out the right amount of water.
Did you soak
2 or 3 cups. No need.
Oh,
Not with Vitamix.
Everyone else soak your dates.
At 2 or 3 cups of water. I'm thinking of doing 2 cups of water and 1 cup of ice, just so that I can leave it blending for a long time without it heating up. Because if you put something in the blender in the Vitamix at too high for too long, it'll start to get hot. My morning green smoothie, one morning I opened the lid and steam was coming out. I'm like, this is unattractive.
Yeah, if you put that thing up on high, it'll really. Yeah. It's true. Well, that's why you can make soup in the Vitamix.
Yep. Just leave it in there long enough and it's hot.
I mean, you don't even have to cook it. You just make it.
But this is why I'm thinking my new recipe will be 10 dates, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of ice cubes, and then you can just leave it going. Because, every now and then I'll get a little tiny piece of skin or something from the dates.
I am going to say that if you soaked the dates, that problem would be gone.
Honestly, I really don't think I need to. I'm
just saying what you're complaining about, though. That would be definitely improved by soaking it. Mindy said to soak.
But that only happens if I don't blend it on high for long enough. So instead of soaking...
Okay, but I'm just saying that Mindy said to soak.
Well, right, but Mindy doesn't know what she's talking about.
Mindy knows everything.
Mindy doesn't know what she's talking about, which is why I had her on the podcast, so I could make
I don't want you to question Mindy. I love her. Plus, she could punch you in the face.
She could punch me in the face, and I would ask her to autograph the bruise. Could you autograph my broken face and say Mindy was here?
Get tattooed on.
But yeah, I feel like you could soak, sure, and if I had time, I'd soak. But in lieu of soaking, if you just add the ice cubes, then you can blend it for a lot longer, and there's no need to soak.
But this is all Vitamix talks, everyone. If you don't have a Vitamix, soak your dates.
Soak your dates. But basically 10 dates, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of ice. And then our friend Cynthia King gave me this protein powder that she didn't care for. It's like a green plant-based protein powder, berry flavored. And it's kind of gross sounding, but the label says the amino acid complex in this protein powder is the closest thing to human muscle tissue. So it assimilates really well to human muscle. So yeah, that was kind of my dinner. Just some Dateorade with protein in it as I went to the gym at 4 a.m. Because I'm hardcore like that.
That is really hardcore.
That's pretty hardcore. So we are going to get into some hisses and purrs. We have some lovely letters from some listeners to get to a little later on. But shall we start with a purr and end with a purr like we usually like to do?
Yeah, purr sandwich.
Purr
Can you purr
sandwich.
First? Because you're
Wait, no, it's a hiss. It's a hiss sandwich.
Sorry, hiss sandwich. Can you purr
I
first?
don't know what it is.
It's my favorite.
I would love to purr first. So this, as soon as I heard this purr, or as soon as I heard this news item, I was like, oh my God, I want that to be my purr. And I knew that Laura would get to it before I did. And sure enough, she did. But we arm wrestled.
Because you guys, I am more internet savvy than Ben.
Right, but I was more in the back of a cab savvy watching this on the little TV screen that popped up. And I love that you and I look for vegan news. This just popped up on the screen in the back of a cab. When you're in a cab in New York City, it used to be different, but now there's TV screens in every cab and the news comes on. But there is a elementary school in Flushing, Queens, PS 244 in Flushing, Queens, has adopted an all-vegetarian menu. Completely vegetarian. We always talk about the school lunch program and all the crappy meat being fed to our kids. Well, there is one school in Queens that is 100% vegetarian. And I want to hiss because it's not vegan. No, I'm kidding. But like, yeah, they serve like tofu wraps and vegetarian chili. I think they just added to their menu. They had Tuesday's menu was black beans and cheddar quesadillas served with salsa and roasted potatoes.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
That's good eating. Can you imagine? I mean, I like to imagine it's day cheddar cheese, but oh well.
Of course,
but,
right. Don't even get me started on my school lunches growing up. They were horrifying.
Oh my God. Honestly, this is not vegan and not whatever of me, but I had no problem with our cafeteria food. It was like the most D grade food, but I loved it. I loved like the gross little chicken sandwiches, and I would take the little mini salad just so that I could take the cheese off the salad and the lettuce off the salad and build like a deluxe burger with it, and then slather some mayonnaise and some ketchup on there. It's funny how misguided the school lunch program is, though. If you bought like a sandwich, it was one price. But if you took it with a carton of milk and a salad, or a carton of milk and an apple, then you got the whole thing for a different price because it was considered a healthy lunch.
Huh.
Because you were drinking a carton of milk and eating some iceberg lettuce covered in ranch.
Oh, I remember those iceberg salads. Memories.
Yeah, I love that that's considered healthy because you're having a salad, but the salad has shredded cheddar cheese on it and you're drowning it in 2 packages of ranch dressing, but you're thinking you're being healthy because it has some iceberg lettuce, and it's called the salad.
Well, I just remember the hot lunch being revolting at my high school, and so instead of the hot lunch, your options were you could either go to the snack shop, which was like bagels and yogurt and stuff like that, and whatever, like chips, like bags of chips. It wasn't food. Like the bagels is like the yogurt was like the closest thing I had to food. And then if you didn't want to go to the snack shop, then you could go to the burger place. And the burger place was just burgers and fries. That's all it was, all day, every day. And
fries?
What?
Fries?
Yeah, burgers and fries, hamburgers and fries. It was available every single day, and it was just the burger station. You could get burgers and fries. And I'll never forget this. My childhood best friend, she was on the lunch program. So she got free lunches at school. And she never wanted the hot lunch because it was disgusting. So she ate a burger and fries every single day for lunch. I'm not kidding. She always had a burger and fries because it was her only option.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. All I ate was yogurt and bagels. I remember only eating yogurt and bagels in high school. I ate the burger and fries sometimes, though. I think it was pretty gross, though.
I'm sure my school did the same thing, but I'm just shocked. No, I want to say flummoxed. I'm flummoxed. That I imagine flummoxed means I'm shocked, but there's like a little bit of like a heart murmur or like a little acid reflux or a little flutter in the chest. That a school lunch program would serve fries. Like, that would be like, we want to make math interesting, so we're putting pornographic imagery in our math books just to keep students interested.
Well, the thing is to make it the options that you have every day, you should be like fruit, of some vegetables. If you want to have that kind of stuff available every day, that makes sense, but to have fries available every day is one of the only good things to eat. It's like crazy.
Well, and I'm sure people were like, well, it is a vegetable. I mean, I don't consider a potato.
Hungry, I think, there's a lot. I mean, look, the town I grew up in, very small town, but it's very mixed. It's like, there's really a lot of poorer families, and then there's some better off families, but even the better off families, because it's such a small town, any place else they would be lower middle class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the location. But it's, it's like the kids who are like, the poor kids, they have to eat they have to eat school food. That's the thing I can't get over. Poor kids don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. That's how they have to eat that disgusting food. So that's yay, so Queens, because I bet there's a ton of kids on the lunch program in Queens.
Yeah, and you know the beautiful thing about this is the principal of the school. His name is Robert Groff. He said we discovered early on that our kids were gravitating toward our vegetarian offerings, and we kept expanding the program to meet the demand. I mean, that's breathtaking.
Amazing.
That this was born out of necessity, you know. And it's just, isn't it true? You show up to a party where you're supposed to bring a dish, you bring a vegan option.
I know it's
and
empty.
Everyone, it's like the first thing to go. Like,
it's infuriating.
yeah, vegetable
I went
samosas.
to like a couple years ago. I went to some of my friends do this thing where it's called Friendsgiving, and they do it before Thanksgiving, and they basically do a Thanksgiving potluck. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, and so the last time I went it must have been 2 or 3 Thanksgivings ago, and I was vegan. It was one of my first vegan Thanksgivings, I think, because I went to Cynthia's. It was my first vegan Thanksgiving. So I went to Friendsgiving, and then I went to Cynthia's for Thanksgiving. Cynthia King, ballet slippers, Cynthia King, who's amazing. Anyway, at the Friendsgiving, I brought a bunch of stuff. Like I brought chocolate chip pumpkin bread, which was gone in a heartbeat. It was ridiculous. And then I also brought, the thing is I brought mashed potatoes, vegan mashed potatoes and mushroom gravy. And then like 3 other people brought mashed potatoes and mashed sweet potatoes, and mine were gone in like a minute. Everyone's like, these are so good. And I was like, I hate all of you. I can't eat anything else here.
PS 244 in Flushing, Queens. You are making us purr.
Yes, you are, baby. All right, cool.
I love it. Wait, did you say... Wait, there was something that you just said you brought. Now I just forgot it.
Chocolate chip pumpkin bread?
Yeah. Was that my recipe?
No, it's Colleen's recipe. Sorry.
Oh, really? I didn't know she had a recipe. I didn't know
it's in The Joy of Vegan Baking. It's like my favorite. Her pumpkin bread is one of my favorite recipes of hers. And I put chocolate chips in. I think she has that listed as an option. But yeah.
Oh, Colleen, I didn't know that you were competition. You know, I'm seeing her later this week. Me and her and Aaron Red are gonna have dinner on Friday night, and I forget where. I don't know where yet, but I'm hoping. It's been so long since I filmed an episode of the cooking show, but I want to film some new episodes, and it's probably too late to get her while she's in town. But I really want to ask her if she would come next time she's here. If she would do an episode with me, I would just love that. Yeah,
you know, I'm going to be in town.
When?
In 2 weeks. I've told you like 4 times.
You didn't tell me this.
I have told you like 4 times. I'm going to screen capture that text messages of me telling you.
Well, I don't understand why I'm always faulted for having a piss poor memory. You know this about me.
No, it's because you don't read it. It's because you skim.
I don't read.
I know, read. So you skim a text or you skim a message I send you, and you take the parts that are relevant in the moment, and you miss the rest. And then I'm mad you didn't respond to everything. I know how you are.
You got to get me in audio form. You got to I don't know.
You're such a skimmer. Yeah. I'm coming with my dad. His chart's being performed at Carnegie Hall, and then he's also performing at the Lincoln Center Jazz Club on I'll just say it in case anybody wants to go, on May 20th, Monday, May 20th. My dad's performing at the Lincoln Center Jazz Club. If you want to come hear him, he's fabulous. And then Tuesday the 21st, his piece is being played at, his chart is being played at Carnegie Hall by, I don't know, some guy. He's whatever. He's good, I guess. He's performing at Carnegie Hall. Some jazz guy. So I'm coming with my dad to see his shows.
Would you have any time to... No, I don't even know if I have time. I would love to do a cooking show episode with you sometime.
I would love that too. I mean, I'm going to be with my family, so
yeah, I don't think it'll happen on this trip.
A little swamped, but I should have let's see. I mean,
honestly,
maybe
you know what?
Honestly, maybe Thursday, the 23rd.
I don't think it's going to happen. The month of May is booked solid for me already.
All right, well then, forget it.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm going to be able to get back into the kitchen until June, but we'll figure
this
out.
And then, wait, let me say, I know I just told everyone the dates I'm going to be in New York City, which is a little weird. Please don't stalk me. But then after...
Stalk me instead.
Yeah, you guys stalk Ben. He likes it. I really get freaked out by it. Then after I'm in New York City, I'm going to be at Vita Vegan Con in Portland.
Woo-woo!
So if you're going to that convention, come find me because I am going to be there.
I don't know why, but anything con, I'm picturing people walking around in warrior princess costumes and Renaissance gear.
I think it is going to be like that, but carrot
And
costumes.
I know that you're into that, Sarah Andrews, but I'm just going to say I find it a little weird.
I'm really into that stuff. I was thinking for Big Fat Vegan Movie Night, it might be fun to record like a sci-fi movie that I'm like really into and you're totally hating.
Yes. Okay, done. Boom. We just recorded Glitter, of course. We'll get that up there for our members. But I really feel like the next one has to be Showgirls. Has to be Showgirls.
It's fine. I love Showgirls. I'm going to be hushing you. I'm going to be like, shh, 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 listen to this part.
Which is exactly what you want to listen to while you're watching a movie.
Oh my God. That movie is amazing. That movie's amazing. You know, the problem with Showgirls is that it is long.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it's... Whew. I mean, you're committing to what... I watched Showgirls when I was... Wow, we're really, really off. We're really off the rails here. When I had surgery on my foot, and I was in bed for 6 weeks, I watched many, many things, and Showgirls was one of them.
And that's how long it was. It took up half of your recovery time.
It did. I gotta say, I was all alone, and I was just spending the whole time in bed with my foot was elevated on this thing, and I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. This movie is insane. It's incredible. It's incredibly
good. And the movie's so long that by the time it was over, your cast had magically fallen off and your foot had healed.
The stitches had been removed. Yep. All right, let's move on.
What makes you hiss?
Yeah, my hiss is pretty simple. If people haven't heard, I'm so sorry to be the one to break the news to you, but the vegan cosmetics line, Urban Decay, is no longer vegan. And that's sort of old news at this point. Originally, when the big thing happened with China, where China now basically requires animal testing. So if you're going to sell your product in China, you're not cruelty free. I mean, you're not. It's just as simple as that. Right. So, a lot of companies unfortunately caved on that. Estee Lauder was one of them, which was a big bummer for me because I still have some Estee Lauder makeup products left over that were my favorites that I'm never going to be able to buy again because they're no longer cruelty free, which bums me out. So anyway, Urban Decay also said they were going to sell in China, and it was they got a lot of backlash for that because basically their argument was, we're not doing the animal testing, it's not our fault if China does it. Which is like whatever. So they got a lot of backlash, and then they said they were decided to not sell to China. So it was like, okay, great. Okay. Thanks Urban Decay. And then they sold to L'Oreal.
Oh, gotcha.
So Urban Decay is now owned by L'Oreal, and although the Urban Decay line itself is, I guess, they don't do animal testing. L'Oreal is a company that does animal testing. So, right. It's like they are doing animal testing basically. I mean, the thing is the Urban Decay money goes to L'Oreal. So they are huge. They're huge animal testers. So anyway, my Melissa, my friend, she has been really promoting that a lot on her cruelty-free face because they're still claiming to be vegan. They're still calling their makeup vegan and saying they're cruelty-free, and it's like BS. So, anyway, feel free to call them out if you see them on Twitter calling themselves vegan or whatever, and, just spread the word. Urban Decay is no longer a choice for people who are looking for cruelty-free options. So you know what, Urban Decay? You are making me hiss. Jerk.
Yeah, and for people who don't understand, I mean, like, if someone out there doesn't understand the logic of, well, we're not the ones doing the animal testing, it's happening in China. For someone who might not see through that argument, the fact is you are funding it. You are basically creating a market in which your product is going to have to be tested on animals. So if you just said no to China, that's that much less animal testing that's happening.
Yes.
And while I'm assuming their makeup does not contain animal ingredients necessarily. No, that still doesn't mean that animals are not being harmed by your purchasing their products.
Well, they're not committed to the responsibility in a way that makes me want to support them. So there's other options out there. And since we're talking about it, you can just go to crueltyfreeface.com. That's the go-to resource for cruelty-free options in makeup. And you can always contact Melissa on Facebook at The Urban Housewife. She's great. She's really responsive, and she posts videos all the time, and she's like the the person to ask. So if you're looking for options and whatever, ask her. I will say though that if you got stuff, use it. I'm not like a throw out your products person. Use your products that you've got, and then when they're done, find something new,
When you're done, look for someone who is, with us in this fight for animal liberation.
Absolutely.
And choose to throw your dollars towards them for doing a job well done.
Yes. Love it. I actually just bought some new cruelty-free mascara. And I was very nervous about it because I have to say I've had bad experiences with vegan mascara in the past. And this one that I just bought it totally on a whim online, was like, I'm just going to try it, see if I like it. I'm really happy with it. I have to say I really like it.
What mascara was it? Do you know?
I believe it's called Natural Girl. I can double check online really quickly.
Well,
I got it from Pangea, actually.
I have to say, I shouldn't, I don't know, I'm scared to put this out there, but I have yet to do an overhaul of Honey LeBronx's makeup. I mean, drag makeup is very different from just regular girl makeup.
Oh, yeah. What do you have, like a glue stick in your kit?
Well, the glue stick, funny enough, the glue stick is completely vegan.
That's great.
Yeah, I remember thinking of all the things because drag queens glue their eyebrows down. Well, most of us do. And then you put foundation and powder over that so that you've hidden your boy eyebrows and you paint on girl eyebrows higher than that. But one of the things that I was the most certain would not be vegan in my glue kit was my Elmer's disappearing purple glue stick. And I went to the website to try to see if they had anything vegan. And as I was looking, I saw this huge disclaimer on their website. Even before I didn't even have to look for it. It was like, welcome to Elmer's. Oh, the first thing you should know, we're very proud of this. All of our products are animal free.
That's amazing.
And there's even a picture.
I just found it. Yeah. It's No Miss Natural Mascara, guys. That's the mascara that I'm really liking.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ben, what would probably be good, I'm going to say a company for you to look into for drag makeup is Manic Panic. It's all vegan and cruelty-free, and it's kind of like a punk line.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So the makeup's a little more dramatic. So that might be good.
Yeah. I would love that. I would love if Melissa could just sit down with me one day and go through my
We should have her
kit.
on the show.
We need to have her on the show.
I'd love to have her on, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. So, so that's a hiss for you.
Great.
And
what are you hissing about, buddy?
I would love to hiss about the Kentucky goddamn Derby. First of all, I remember years ago, I was working at the Ellen Stardust Diner. And a friend of mine, Jamie Lynn, she's from Kentucky. So she had this huge Kentucky Derby party at her apartment. And I went to it. And like all the girls were like wearing big hats and stuff. And everyone was getting into it. And I was like ready to basically watch, I don't know, the equivalent of a football game or something. Thinking, okay, we're going to watch this thing. And it's going to be like a long, full length thing. Oh, wait. What, huh? It's over? It's over? Oh, the Derby's done. Oh! All of this getting gussied up and all this pageantry for 30 seconds? And what year was this? This must have been 2007, I think it was. Yeah, it probably was 2007, I believe this was. And if I remember correctly, the 2007 Kentucky Derby basically ended with there's a horse down. There's a horse down. So I'm like, oh, okay, baby, get up. We got to go to state. And now they're coming over to look at the horse, and they're going over to tend to the injured horse. And what are they doing? They shoot it in the head. And I'm like, why was the horse just executed? And they're like, oh, well, because it broke its leg. And I'm like, okay, so why can't we get it medical care? Like, oh, well, that's hard to do, and it's costly, and it's not really profitable. So we'll just shoot him. I don't understand how for 30 seconds of enjoyment, like, lives are lost. I mean, we're basically
it's crazy.
We're just sacrificing the lives of these beautiful horses that are just worked and pushed to death. Not like it would be worth it if the Derby was a little longer, but I'm also shocked by how quickly this Derby is one lap around the track. It's like when you're a kid and you're like saying to your friend, like, hey, I'll race you to the house. Last time there was a rotten egg. Boom.
It's true. It's that's short.
The Kentucky Derby. And, for all of this, there are more than 20,000 unwanted thoroughbreds in the USA. Most of them are former racehorses, and still the industry breeds 30,000 new foals every year. Foals are baby horses. Even though there's 20,000 unwanted, orphaned, horses, 30,000 new ones are bred every year. And when I say bred, they have like the stud, the male horse, has to mount and impregnate 100 mares, those are female horses, per breeding season. And they're forced to mate in these like factory farm type settings. It's really ridiculous. PETA has some undercover footage about this. These horses are subjected to drugs to keep them running even though they're sick or they're tired or their health is failing. They're just pumped full of drugs to keep them going. I mean, it's like, at least if you're like a boxer and you're taking steroids and you're getting punched in the face, you're consenting to do that and you're being compensated for it. But I mean, these poor creatures, I mean, could you imagine, one horse just born in the wild, one horse born into horse racing, and like you have no option, you have no hope. You're just subjected to an awful life like this. And on average,
and the whole thing has been worsened because Obama signed that horse slaughter. He re-legalized horse slaughter. It used to be illegal. Now that it's legal, all of these breeding practices are so easily worsened because they can just kill them now. Because now it used to be illegal, but now it's so much easier to dispose of horses. This situation's actually made quite worse by it.
Yeah, and as long as these horses can no longer race or mate with another horse, they are actually sold to meat buyers for slaughter. On average, I'm reading this from PETA's website. On average, 24 horses die each week at racetracks across America. Many are inexpensive horses racing with little regulatory protection in pursuit of bigger and bigger prizes. These deaths often go unexamined. Their bodies are shipped to rendering plants and landfills rather than to pathologists who might have discovered why the horses broke down. So, I mean, we're not even looking into the health of these horses.
Because they don't even care, because when you can slaughter the horse or render the horse, which is now legal again, you can profit off of that. So who cares? They don't care. They just want to make the money.
And then just go and get a new, horse. I mean, hey, we got 30,000 new horses a year. We've got an unending supply of horses to go through. It's so disgusting, and I can't understand how anyone could possibly defend it or support it. I was out with some friends last night, and they were all talking about, the Derby. Oh, yeah, who won? Oh, Orb. Orb is the winner. And I didn't say anything because I was in mixed company, and I was gathered with friends for purposes other than animal rights, and it would not have been appropriate in that setting for me to speak out. And it was just, I felt like I was screaming inside my head. It's like, can't you guys see? If this was a person being subjected to this, we would call it human trafficking. We would call it exploitation. We would call it kidnapping. We will call it torture.
The Holocaust.
Exactly. So,
I mean, I know people always get, I used to say that when I was first reading Eating Animals, I referred to the way chickens are bred. The way they're bred differently for different purposes, the way they've been genetically modified. Yeah. So that we can have broiler chickens and egg-laying hens. And anyway, I was like, oh my God, it's like the Holocaust. It's like the chicken Holocaust. Yeah. And I was really, someone really gave me a hard time for saying that. Like, they're like, you can't say that. And I was like, why can't I? That's the words we should be using. It is that bad.
It's worse. I mean, it's worse when you look at the scale, the magnitude of how many lives are being lost. I mean, maybe someone only thinks, it's only a chicken's life. But to that chicken, that was his entire life.
No kidding.
Times how many billions. I mean, it's just disgusting. But hey, there's hope. Because you and I went vegan, and so many of my friends are going vegan, and it's growing and growing. It's really catching on, and I really feel like animal liberation is the next social justice movement, and we may not be there yet.
Like it's still very much in the throes of the gay social movement. I mean, a lot of people act like we're further along than we are with that. We're still very deep in that.
A long way to go, and I feel like the transgender equality movement is really the next social justice movement that's starting to happen.
Yes, that's next.
But I just hope and pray to God that after we've evolved, on that issue, we will start to evolve enough. Yeah. So Kentucky Derby, I can't with you. I can't with you. You're making me hiss.
I can't even look at you in your big stupid hat.
Ugh. Ridiculous. So let's end on a purr. What is making you purr, Laura?
Okay. So a little backstory on this purr. I went and saw the eye doctor a few weeks ago because I'm blind, in case nobody knew that about me. Well, I'm not legally blind, but I can't see very well.
I thought you just wore the glasses for fashion statement like my roommate.
Yeah, these are not a fashion statement. I'm quite handicapped without them. And anyway, I used to go every 2 years. Now apparently I have to go every year. But I needed to get my prescription updated. So usually while I'm there, I get fitted for contacts as well, just to have them handy. And I just had never really thought about this, but I thought, oh my gosh, contacts must be terribly filled with animal testing. There must be that must be an insane source of animal testing. I wonder if you can even get cruelty-free contact lenses. So, anyway, my doctor was like trying to get me to buy these AccuView, and I was like, you know what? She gave me some samples, some free ones. I was like, I'm just going to take the samples because I almost never wear contacts. I'm totally a glasses girl. Just wear them sometimes. Like if I'm on vacation, I'm going to be wearing sunglasses all day. So I was like, I'll take the free samples. That'll be enough for me. And I'll get some online if I want to buy more. So then I went online to do a little research because I was like, intrigued. I want to find out. And I am really excited to say that I found a company that does make cruelty-free contact lenses. And it was sort of hard to find. I had to really look for it because it's really not commonplace. But this is a company in the UK, but they ship worldwide. You can get them anywhere. They're called Daysoft contact lenses. They're one a day. They're daily disposables, which is what most eye doctors recommend. That's the healthiest for you. And it's amazing. Their website just quite simply declares, you can also rest assured that the lenses we supply have not been tested on animals. And just to sort of further explore that, an email from the customer service said this, which is, I think, really interesting. I can confirm that Daysoft was not required to carry out any tests involving animals for the current products which are on the market. We chose to use a combination of materials which have already been established as safe for use, and made an argument to the regulatory board that there should be no further requirement for any tests involving animals. This argument was accepted, and we were given approval to market our daily disposable lenses. Now, look, I think that's great because basically what they're saying is that these, products that they're using to create their contact lenses, they were maybe tested on animals by other companies, right? That's true. But they argued that it didn't need to be done again at their company, which is incredible. That's a step forward. That's great because most companies just keep doing it. They don't care. They just meet the status quo. They just keep meeting the requirements. So you can know that this company themselves does not do animal testing, and they're the people getting your money. So that's great, I think. And you can support them. Also, this is a tough issue because people want to wear contact lenses. I get that. I get that you want to wear your contact lenses. So I think this is a great option. So they're daily disposables. I think it's also really important to say that they don't offer for astigmatism. So I'm sorry if you have an astigmatism and you wear contacts, this is not going to be a good option for you. But anyway, so that's that. I'm pretty excited about it. Also, I'm going to put a link to some contact solution that's also cruelty-free. There's a few contact solution options out there that are cruelty-free. But yeah, I think it's a really exciting, great option, and I hope more companies follow this lead. This is great. They can just argue that the testing's already been done. They don't want to do it anymore. And why should we keep it up? And so right on. Yeah. So Daysoft, you're making me purr.
The beautiful thing about this too is, for people out there who are like, buy American. Well, you know what?
Whatever.
We're now, for something like this, if you are buying from a UK company, it's like, well, look, America, people are going to start buying from other companies abroad. That people are going to start buying from other countries where they are not exercising animal cruelty and animal testing. And
where they're taking steps to eliminate animal cruelty, which is the steps I want to be taking as well.
And if we want to be competitive in the global market, we're going to have to keep up with those standards because those are becoming people's criteria when they want to make a purchase.
Yeah. Also, guys, they're really cheap.
Nice.
They're like, let me look. I'll get the price right here. $8 for a box of 32 lenses. That is great. That's a great deal.
That's a lot less expensive than I would have thought contact lenses would cost.
Yeah. Well, they are contact lenses are very expensive. And also the thing is you go through them very quickly. So 32 lenses, that's not even a month because obviously you need one lens in each eye.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, so $16 for a month of contacts is pretty good. And, the only thing is probably the shipping because it's from the UK, but whatever. I just wanted to share that because I really was looking and I thought there wasn't anything. And then I was really happy to stumble upon this company. So, it's exciting. They're definitely worth trying. I read a few really good reviews about how comfortable they are.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, that box would last me a month because I don't wear contacts, but like I only have poor eyesight in my right eyeball.
Interesting.
So that box would last. You know what it is?
It would last me forever because I never wear contacts, except so rarely, but sometimes I want to. So
I was a kid who was supposed to wear an eye patch over my left eye so that my right eye would develop because it was the weak eye. Aww. And then as soon as I got to school, I would tear the eye. It was like a little like skin colored adhesive eye patch.
You didn't do a pirate patch?
I would no. I mean,
I would have given my son a pirate patch.
But as soon as I got to school, I would just take it off. So my right eye never developed. And it's like, why was there not a teacher who was told, like, oh, stop that kindergartner from peeling off his eye patch? If you could have explained to me as a kid.
That's why you need a pirate patch, because then it's at least it can be like, I'm a pirate.
Yeah. I was the discomfort of having that thing on and not being able to see out of my other eye. But for that little year of discomfort, I could have had perfect eyesight. Oh well.
It's too bad.
Amblyopia is what I have in my right eye. My right eye is amblyopic, meaning like the focusing mechanism is just weak.
But that can be corrected with a contact lens?
Nope, it can't be corrected. Why
would you wear a contact lens then? Does it improve your sight?
I'm not sure. I think some lenses can kind of help my focus a little bit. I'm more interested in looking into seeing if adult amblyopia can be correct. If you know anything about adult amblyopia and if you can correct it, let me know. Like I've started like walking around the city with my left eye closed, just trying to like force my right eye to focus on things, and of course I just get a huge headache. But
pirate patch.
Yeah, I'm gonna start wearing a pirate patch. Boom. Done. Well, I have one in the hallway. Kitten with a Whip has a glittered, rhinestone studded eye patch.
That sounds
Looks
amazing.
Looks kind of fierce.
Just be, Honey can be a pirate.
Honey could be.
She can be a pirate lady.
I don't know. She's a little soccer momish to pull that off.
Could be Halloween.
So, maybe for Halloween I'll be a pirate lady. I'll even have my leg removed. I'm that committed.
Just and you'll get a little peg. That'll be nice.
Well, I got a Peg Bundy wig and a peg leg.
All right, let's keep this moving right along. I'm having fun.
Yeah, let's talk about some food.
Food.
Oh, I love the name of this first place.
Well, why don't you ask me where I'm going later?
Where are you going later?
I'm going to Dear Mom in San Francisco for the Hella Vegan Eats pop-up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hella Vegan Eats. I love that.
I don't know if I've actually talked about them on the show before or not. I feel like I may have, but anyway. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think I have. I don't know. Hella Vegan Eats is a catering company. It's a vegan catering company in San Francisco, and they do pretty regular pop-ups at this Dear Mom location. I think they do it at other locations too, but I've only been to Dear Mom. They do them pretty regularly, often on holidays. I know they did like a St. Patrick's Day one. They did a Valentine's Day one. And they're always great. The menus are like, oh, did you look? I have the menu on my Facebook right now. Go look at the menu.
Oh my God, I'm looking at it right now. Let's
see. It's amazing. So today is the Cinco de Mayo one, and they also did one yesterday for May the 4th. And anyway, I'm just totally excited about them. They're great and delicious, and the pop-ups are really fun, and there's always a really great collection of vegans that end up being there, and I just can't say enough positive things. The food's always different. One of the trademark things they do, though, that I will mention is the Mean Dean burger, which is basically a play on Paula Deen's donut burger. So they do.
That's what I'm looking at right now. The chorizo donut burger.
Well, that looks like it's going to be a little different because it looks like they're doing a Cinco de Mayo twist on it.
Oh,
but they do a classic one too. So it's way they make donuts and it's basically a vegan donut burger. and it's to die for. I've had it a couple times. It's crazy good. The one tonight looks like it's going to be spicy. It's going to be like a chorizo donut burger, but
what do people think vegans eat? Because
I know.
they certainly don't think that we eat spicy burgers sandwiched between two cinnamon sugar
Wait, Ben,
donuts.
read about the tacos.
The Los Lusty Lover tacos.
Yeah, read that description.
It is oh my no, they can't do this.
They do it. I've had them. Read it.
Okay, the tacos contain mac and cheese, barbecue Leanna's Market chicken, chipotle crusted cornflakes, green onions, and pickled red onions served on 3 corn tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It actually sounds a little different. The chicken sounds like it's going to be different. So they do little differences with the menu all the time, obviously.
And what would you like in your tacos? Oh, I don't know, some mac and cheese, some chicken, and some cornflakes. Can you do that?
Yeah,
Thanks
and are they
so
doing
much.
chicken and waffles? Does it say they're doing chicken and waffles, or they do chicken and waffles?
I don't see it on here, but
they've done it in the past. Anyway, the point is that I like them a lot. And they're delicious. And if you're in the Bay, you should check them out. And then also they do catering. So if you need catering for an event, it's a great option. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go tonight and eat all the food.
You better Instagram the hell out of your food tonight.
I will. The thing is, Dear Mom is really dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to get good photos.
So you're just going to keep running outside with your food and taking pictures of it out in the sunlight.
I've tried many times to get good photos of Dear Mom, and they don't come out that well, I have to say. And there is I don't know. I love people taking pictures of their food, but when people post blurry pictures of their food or pictures of their food in low lighting, I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah, you're not making it look appetizing.
Also, that donut burger, it's impossible to take a picture of. I don't know.
Why? Because you eat it before you have a chance to get your camera out.
That's part of it. The other part of it is it's just, I don't know, it's hard to make it look as good as it tastes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm excited. I think I'm going to have the fishy tacos. And then there's some kind of crazy French fries with stuff on them. I'm going to get those too.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
I'm excited.
Woohoo. So let me tell you what I'm having. At the Vegetarian Food Festival, I, of course, signed up for the... you have to help me out again with the name of it for $20 a month.
Oh, the Vegan Cut Snack Box.
The snack box.
That also that so I originally got a Vegan Cut Snack Box as like a review box because they wanted us to, mention it on the show. And we talked about it at the live show. And it was a big hit with me. I loved it. And then hilariously, Ben and I both now subscribe to the Vegan Cut Snack Box.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite a testament to how good it is if they send you a complimentary one so that we can promote it and then we both sign up for it.
One day I was off to the gym and then I went down to the mail. I noticed that I had a package for me. So I go downstairs and it's, my vegan snack box is here. I go upstairs, I'm like, let's put this away before I go to the gym. And I open it. And there is a vegan chocolate protein powder and a vegan chocolate protein bar.
Yeah.
Right as I'm heading to the gym.
Vanilla.
Yeah, it was delicious. But so it's really worth it. Go to vegancuts.com and for $20 a month you can sign up for the vegan snack box and you really get your money's worth out of it because it's like
you really do. It's true.
You don't have to think about what to buy. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to buy anything. It just comes to you, and it's like such a beautiful array of just like always different stuff. But the thing that I was so shocked when this fell out of the box, I'm like, really? For me? It was a 10-ounce package of Tease vegan cheese. It's a creamy cheddar vegan cheese sauce. That basically, last night I made a box of elbow macaroni, and then I just snipped open this little package and dumped the cheese in, and it's delicious mac and cheese. Now, I do have to say, I was in our friend Alan Bonville is staying with us for a while, and I was hopping in a shower. I was like racing against the clock to make this and then run out of the house. So I'm like, Alan, can you do me a favor? When this water finishes boiling, can you put in the macaroni? And then when that's done, could you add in the cheese and blah, blah, blah? I probably put in double the amount of macaroni to cheese. So I didn't really... The way I normally like my mac and cheese is like really thick and creamy cheesy.
Saucy, so I like it too. I
didn't really get a good taste of this product, but even as diluted as my cheese was, because it's basically spread out over double the amount of macaroni. It still tastes like the kind of mac and cheese you would get anywhere else you go.
Well, I can confirm it's one of my favorite vegan products is
Yeah.
the creamy cheddar vegan cheese. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's such an easy product to have in hand. I don't believe it requires refrigerating. You
Nope,
can sit
not
out
until it's open.
Not until it's open. And even when it's open, it says on the product how long it lasts for, but it lasts for a really long time if you keep it in the fridge.
Yeah, if you put it in a sealed container, like a Tupperware or something, it'll last a while.
And you can just keep it in your cabinet.
They also make a great nacho cheese, guys.
Oh, delicious.
So this was. I'm happy. I got creamy cheddar also. I'm sure people got different stuff. That's the thing with the vegan cut snack box. Like Ben got chocolate protein powder. I got vanilla. Right, that happens with the snack box.
Did you make a Vegan Cuts unboxing video?
I did. Yeah, they're having.
Oh
a
my
contest.
god!
Yeah.
I have to start doing. There's a contest.
Well, they had one. Yeah, you could win like some free boxes.
Oh my god, I'm going to start doing that just anyway, because my first box I ever got, my first instinct was to take a picture of me holding everything that I got in the box. In fact, I have that picture here. I will post it in the show notes, because I never did anything with it. I never posted it anywhere.
Oh, how funny.
So,
yeah, well, so just like Ben said, I made an unboxing video, because Vegan Cuts is doing an unboxing video contest. So we put the link there. You can watch my unboxing video. I'm really sick in the video, so it's a little funny, but
my picture is now in the show notes if you can see it.
Wait, let me see. Oh, that's great. You should send that to Jill. She would love that.
Oh, I will. Well, you'll notice what's in my mouth is the thing I was most excited about. I'm like, yeah. All right, cool. All this other stuff, cool. I have Earth Balance cheddar puffs. I was so excited to eat those.
Yeah. Oh, you also have that caramel corn. Oh, and I love Eli's bars. Those are great, right?
No caramel corn. I had the falafel chips.
No, that's caramel corn right there in the black bag with the red. That's caramel corn.
Black bag with the red.
Oh, no.
Oh, so it was. I forgot. I ate it too quickly. Yep. Oh, it was so delicious. So so that's my big fat vegan food is T's vegan cheddar
and the vegan cut snack box. We love the snack box. Get the snack box.
Woo! So moving right along, we have some
God, it is so
mail.
your money's worth, right? Think about it. That's including shipping $20. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
It's such a deal.
And it's such a variety of stuff too.
Also, they're doing vegan cuts tastes of promo thing.
Yeah.
And the new one they're doing is Tastes of Oregon, and I signed up to get the Tastes of Oregon box. It's going to be epic. It's insane.
Delicious.
Yeah, so they're going to start doing that all over, like Tastes of London and stuff. Get into it.
So with my existing box, they'll start switching to that, or is that a different box?
No, it's a different thing. It's like it's going to be like this traveling snack box, and it's much larger, and you get more stuff.
I might have to sign up for that too. I might have to sign up for that too.
Yeah, check it out. Look, they had a whole go to their website. The information's all there, but they had a whole Indiegogo thing. They raised a really good amount of money. I think they met their goal. I gave some money, and then I'm going to get the Oregon box. I'm going to get the Taste of Oregon box.
Jill, you're doing a great job over at Vegan Cuts. Keep up the good work. So let's move it right along. We got some listener mail for you guys today. You guys can all of our contact info, of course, is at bigfatveganradio.com, but you can always call us at 315-VEGAN01. That's 315-834-2601. You can email us at bigfatveganradio@gmail.com. Tweet us at bigfatvegans. We are also on Instagram at bigfatvegans. You can YouTube us. Just go to youtube.com/bigfatveganradio and find us on Facebook as Big Fat Vegan Radio. Today, I am so excited because we have an email from my friend Corey in Wisconsin. Could I read this one? I actually haven't read this one yet.
Please read it.
Hey, Corey! So here we go. So, dear Honey and Laura, first of all, thanks so much for your podcast. It is hilarious and informative and oh, so wonderful. I am lucky enough to have a job where I can listen to podcasts while I work, and yours is one I always make sure to download. You all are whip smart and so entertaining. I especially love that Honey has roots in Wisconsin, where I am living now, and can relate. Which brings me to my question. I live in Wisconsin. which is not an easy place to be vegan, especially in more rural areas. So much of people's livelihoods here are tied up with animal husbandry. In fact, my partner's mom has her own grass-fed organic beef farm, and we go to visit her often, and are going to be living with her for a short stint in the spring. I have been vegetarian since I met her 6 years ago, and she has been perfectly tolerant, even making vegetarian dishes while I am there. But I haven't yet told her about my going vegan. Even though she doesn't produce dairy herself, I think this diet change will seem extreme to her and might hurt her. Her life is the farm, and veganism is a very political choice for me. I'm wondering how to stand my ground, but be conscientious of her feelings as well. I'm hoping you could talk about this a little on the podcast. Honey, you've mentioned that your family has a farm where they raise animals too. Editor's note, no, we don't have a farm, but I'll get into that. So I'm hoping to hear your story about declaring your veganism. I listen to Colleen Patrick Goudreau as well, of course, but it often feels like she does not understand the reality of what life is like in other areas of the country. This is why I love your perspective. Thanks again for all that you do. With love, Corey. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Corey. It's such a nice email.
And thank you very much. And I have to say, on behalf of Colleen Patrick Goudreau, not that I can speak on her behalf, but, she did, she might live out in hippy-dippy San Francisco where she's got tons of vegan options around there. But, she has moved around a bit. I know that she's originally from New Jersey. So, I mean, she just like any of us, grew up, with a standard American diet, and living in a place where veganism is not terribly well understood. And even to this day, you would think that if you were the parent of Colleen Patrick Goudreau, you'd be like, oh my God, my child is this amazing vegan light and whatever. But I mean, her family's not vegan, and they went through a long process where they didn't get it and they didn't understand it. So I think Colleen does definitely understand as well. But just to clear up a point, in case anyone misunderstands, my family does not actually have a farm. My mom is a famous cheesecake lady. My mom is Susie of Susie's Cream Cheesecakes. And hey, I gotta say for the record, don't think for a second that I am not 1,000% proud of my mom and proud of my family's business. I know that sounds awful to say, that my family's business is one that's dairy, but look, I had this evolution of my consciousness, My family has not yet anyway. And, before I had this evolution in consciousness, I was eating cheesecake and I was supporting dairy and all that. So I'm still proud of what my mom has accomplished in her lifetime. She's got a really interesting story from rags to riches, being a single mom and now being a female business owner, and very successful. But, yeah, I mean, it is hard for me when I think about all the animal suffering that my family is responsible for. And, I'm kind of jumping all over the place with my answer to this question. But, I don't wish that tomorrow morning my parents would be put out of business and that they would suddenly not have a company to go to for the sake of animal liberation. I mean, they have my brothers and sisters to look after. My parents have their own health and financial well-being to look after. And there's 8, soon to be 9 grandchildren, I mean, I very much want to see my family thrive and be happy. And while I do feel badly about what they do for a living, I would love to see them, if nothing else, in their personal lives, start to somewhat offset the animal suffering they cause by going vegan themselves. And look, they haven't, they're not, but when I come home, they do a lot of vegan cooking for me. That's starting to have them evolve in their consciousness a bit. My brother seems to have some sort of vegan-ish leanings. And, one of the things I've always said about my veganism is I found it myself, I found Björk myself. I found Icelandic myself. I found veganism myself. And all of these things, I cherish them because I got to find them. No one pushed them on me. No one shoved Björk in my face and said, oh, you have to listen to this. You have to listen to this. I didn't have to be convinced to become vegan. I kind of just found that for myself. And that's what it makes it so precious to me. And I really think that that's why it's lasted this long. So you have to remember that these people have their own journeys as well. Now, I will say, when I went vegetarian, my family really understood that at first. But when I mentioned that I was eventually going vegan, I remember the thing that was hard for my mom was when I mentioned, she made this punch one day, this like big bowl of red, really delicious cherry punch. I'm like, this is great. What's in it? She's like, well, a little of this, little of that, a box of Jell-O. And I remember saying, oh, I won't be able to have that when I go vegan. That was a thing that put my mom over the edge. She was like, oh, well, goddamn, Jell-O. Well, that's just, and she was like exasperated. Like, well, you can't have Jell-O. Oh, God, what's next? But the funny thing is, for any flack I got from my family while vegetarian, I got so much less flack from them when I went vegan. Because here's the clear line. How many vegetarians out there have blurred the line? Like, oh, well, I know a vegetarian and she eats fish. Oh, I know a vegetarian and she eats chicken. Well, I know a vegetarian and she has dairy and she has eggs and they say it's okay. When I went vegan, I drew such a clear line in the sand. And, you don't have to know what I eat and what I don't eat. You just have to stop and think for a second. Is there an animal involved in the making of this ingredient? Oh, right, there is. Ben won't eat that. And I feel like I have gotten along with my family so much better as a vegan than I did as a vegetarian. I'm also really putting my money where my mouth is. Like, I'm really walking the walk as a vegan, and it's really easy for them to understand that and really easy for them to respect it. Because I'm doing something that whether or not they would do it themselves, they have, I think no matter how much flack someone gives you for going vegan, there's also a certain respect that they have for you because they recognize that you're doing something that they perceive as difficult. So, I would say don't worry about how she feels about it. However she feels, it's not for you to make her feel better or feel different or feel softer about it. Her feelings are her own, and she has every right to feel how she wants to feel about it. Just, you can be conscientious of her feelings, but that's it. Just acknowledge how she feels. And if she needs to get something off her chest, then hey, you probably felt that way at one time yourself. Like, yeah, I really understand how you feel. Yeah, it can be difficult. Yeah, it's an adjustment. All right, well, I'm glad that you feel comfortable telling me you feel that way. Like, and just be vegan and be strong in your convictions and let her have her feelings, however they are. The love that she has for you, that's not going to change. Despite how frustrated she might get and despite what she might have to say, know that, just make sure that she knows, like, hey, I love you and I respect you. And I know that this is unusual for you and it might not be something that you've ever thought of before, but this is something new and this brings a lot of joy into my life. And let her know, hey, this is not a reflection on you. Before this episode, we were just doing a Google Hangout with our first ever sponsor, Sunshine, and she was going through this as well. She just finally went full on vegan, and her husband's like, well, you're not going to want to sit across from me while I'm eating steak. And she's like, honey, I don't mind that you're eating steak. I don't want that steak. You don't have to worry that you're tempting me, that I'm craving it. I don't want it. Just as I know that you don't want to eat my nori seaweed wrapped sushi, So however she feels about it, I don't know. I'm rambling, but however she feels about it, that's hers. That's hers to feel.
Yeah. If you're gonna be living there, I really wouldn't worry about it that much. If you're going to be living there on her farm, I mean, you're going to be able to really just, prep your own food and eat your own food. And it's not going to be as difficult as I think visiting is sometimes. I have trouble with visiting family because I feel like they don't want me to cook when I'm visiting. And some families are better about that. My family's not. That's like, they want to wait on me when I'm visiting. But if you're actually going to be living there, I think that'll actually really help because you'll be in charge of your own food and you won't have to worry about her accommodating you in any way. Mm-hmm. So I was actually going to say, if it's your partner's mom, you might want to let your partner let it slip in a conversation, just really casually, just slip. Oh, she's actually vegan now. And then you can talk to her about it yourself later. And, I think the only advice I can say is that it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You're not judging her and I think that's one of the things that's concerning, since she's a farmer. You don't want her to feel like you're judging her, and you're not judging her. You're just doing this for yourself. And, you can just always say that, be like, I hope you don't, don't mind me, don't think it's, like any kind of, I'm not, I don't know. You could say, I hope you don't think I'm judging you. I'm totally not. I'm just doing this for me. And it's just something that I feel like is really important. Just make it about yourself. And, I think it'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. It's, it's really, I think that this kind of stuff is really scary, telling people that you're vegan and thinking they're going to have a negative reaction. But, it's who you are, and, everyone's going to be fine with it eventually. You might get your standard reactions. I'm surprised every now and then. I mean, still, my mom still has like a weird reaction to me sometimes and will ask me like a weird question. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Mom? Like the last time I visited her, she asked me where I got my protein. And I just stared at her.
Really?
I was like, Mom, are you? And she goes, what? And I was like, that's like a joke. That's like the vegan joke, is people asking you where you get your protein. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize. I'm like, yeah. I was like, Mom, I'm clearly fine.
Of course, your mom is hearing, Mom, you're a joke.
I was like, yeesh. Just always remember that to be proud of who you are, at the table. Don't be ashamed. You don't need to hide yourself, and they will accept you, and it's gonna be fine. Look, there might be some awkward moments. People might say some crappy things, but you'll get past it.
Yeah. I think if you want one talking point for this whole thing, just one message to get you through this interaction, just go with how happy veganism makes you,
Yes.
I think all our loved ones want is to know that we're happy. And if you just let her know that, hey, you know what? I'm doing this because it brings me such joy.
For me, yeah.
I'm doing this because it makes me so happy, and you don't have to do this. And, you not doing this doesn't make me any less happy, I'm happy being here with you. I'm happy being with my partner. I'm happy that you've opened your home to me. And this is one thing I get to do for me that makes me happy, And I mean, just as I can say in the same breath that I'm happy that my mom has become such a successful business owner, and that she's, that she can be proud of her work, I'm happy for her as well. Hey, I'm happy for you that you've got this farm and that it makes you happy and it brings you fulfillment, even though, believe me, in the back of our head, we all know how we feel about that.
Well, we all wish it was different, but...
We wish it was different, but, we have to think about what changes can we make in the world that we actually live in here and now, I'm doing the artist way right now for like the third time in my life, and a lot of the tasks that we do say, all right, in a perfect world, what would you do? Or in a perfect world, what would your ideal day look like? Write it out. And then it says, all right, now in the world you actually live in, what would an ideal day look like? With the actual circumstances you face, with things as they are here and now in your present day life, now what would you do? So yeah, just reassure her that this makes you happy, and that, as you want to be happy, you just want her to be happy as well.
Yes.
And tell her that, you will graciously give her between 2 to 8 weeks to become vegan herself.
What?
Oh, is that not what we're going with?
It's not ideal.
Kidding.
All right, great. So, Corey, I hope that helps. That's a tough issue. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thanks again for taking the time to write in and share that with us. And
and I think everyone can relate to that. We all have that. We all have those struggles. I mean, it really is.
And you know what I'd like to suggest as well for our listeners? If you are listening to this and you have anything you'd like to say to Corey on this issue, I don't think we get this often enough, but you can go to bigfatveganradio.com, and at the end of this episode, there's a comments section. Post your comments. Post your comments to Corey, and if there's something that you'd love to say or you think she should hear or know that we left out, go ahead and put it in the comments. And,
totally. You can do it on Facebook, too. On our Facebook page.
And on our Facebook wall as well. You know, I'd love to see our listeners starting to talk back and forth a bit more through our Facebook page or through the website. So
yeah, we had that a little bit with Kayla. We had an email that I forwarded to her, and I think that's really great. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, of course, you can send us an email if you want it to be confidential, and we can pass it along to Corey. But it would be I think much more touching if it would be done in a more public forum where other listeners can see it, and B, it would just be a lot less work for us. So beautiful.
Oh, come on.
So post something to Corey. There's gonna be one person listening to this who's like, I'll be the first person to post a message to Corey.
Do it.
And just post her a little thing on the bigfatveganradio.com. Just at the end of the episode, there's a comment section. Leave a comment there for Corey.
Get your brave on. Get your comment on.
So that's pretty much it for this episode of Big Fat Vegan Radio. Happy anniversary to us. Woo-woo. And here's looking forward to our second year. I'm excited.
Cheers. Congratulations, Ben.
We had a pretty awesome first year. And I don't really think we should say it yet because we haven't set a date. But I think people are going to be kind of excited to see who our first interview guest of the second year is going to be.
Oh, yeah. They're an okay person, I guess.
Yeah.
I think mildly interesting.
I think some people have heard of her before.
Oh, you just let the gender slip. That could be a red herring, everyone.
Honey,
he could be faking you out.
Honey, I'm a drag queen. I refer to everyone and everything as her.
She. So true.
So you guys, as always, of course, you can follow us on the Twitter and the Instagram as individuals. I am at Honey LaBronx on Twitter and Instagram. And Laura is at Lara Yaz, LARAYAZ.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, you can always check out Laura's new YouTube channel, youtube.com/LARAYAZ. Definitely check out her 3 minutes about a movie videos.
I saw Iron Man 3. The review is up.
Yes, she did. And the review is up. I can't wait to watch it as soon as this is done.
Please enjoy. Also, my Vegan Cuts unboxing video.
Oh, right. I got to check that out. Well, we'll put that in the show notes.
Which is very ridiculous, but it's good.
That's on your channel, too, yeah?
All on the same channel, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Well, just subscribe to her channel, and then you'll get email notifications anytime they post something.
You know what else you can do is you can subscribe to Ben's YouTube channel. It's Honey LaBronx channel. And you can watch it at thevegandragqueen.com.
And just make sure you subscribe. Or go to, I probably should change that link to youtube.com/Honey LaBronx. Is it /Honey LaBronx? I don't know.
I don't know.
It probably is. Go to youtube.com/Honey LaBronx.
You're doing it right now? Find out.
I am. Yep, that's it. That's it, indeed. And just go there and click subscribe so you can see. I post, my cooking show there. But I also, if I have a performance somewhere or if I videotape a friend's performance, there's a lot of fun, interesting videos I put up there in addition to my cooking show. Like the time that I stuck a syringe in my right knee and I drained the fluid from the water on my knee. That's also up there. So enjoy that.
That video was horrifying, everyone. It was horrifying.
It was consensual.
My favorite part is when you say I'm listening to Bjork because it makes me brave.
Yep, she gives me a lot of courage.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Ben, have I told you that I met Bjork? I don't think I have told you that.
What?
He's frozen in shock, everyone. I thought I'd mentioned it to you before. No, I haven't mentioned it.
First off, I don't know who this Bjork is. Is she anything like my favorite singer, Björk?
I don't speak Icelandic, so I pronounce her name the way the rest of the U.S. does.
Okay. When and how did you meet her, and where? And
she was at the bar that I managed, having a drink.
Oh my god. I don't ever want to meet her. I would be just too scared. I would freak out.
She's very small.
Yeah? Oh.
Yeah.
I tried to steal her.
I'm not really, I don't want to get into it. I'm not like a fan, so I wasn't fanning out. There were definitely people, employees who were like, oh
Yeah.
I mean, her fans are like really hardcore.
Whether you're a fan or not, I think you can just recognize that seeing Björk in person, like you definitely know that you are in the presence of a capital A artist.
Yeah, well, it's funny because she wasn't super, she was dressed super casual, and like I said, she's very small. So one of the waitresses came up to me and she was like, "Do you know who that is?" And I was like, "What? Where?" And I was like, "Oh." So she was flying under the radar. I mean, it's a dark, crowded bar. People didn't know she was there.
Wow. I don't know what will happen if I ever meet her, but I just want my Icelandic to be good enough that when I do meet her, I can speak with her in Icelandic.
I think you can. I think you'll be fine.
I'd be so nervous. So also, you guys can buy my medieval oil. Go to medieval oil.com. I spell it out because I still forget how medieval is spelled.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think I have any interesting new uses for how you can use it. Actually, right before this episode started, I know I've mentioned this use before, but my room was just getting a little funky because it's such a small room, so it starts to smell like me pretty quickly. And so I just put a couple of drops on the little napkin that's clipped onto my fan, and I turned the fan on, and boom, in like 5 seconds, my room smells delicious. So buy some medieval oil, and you will be so glad that you did.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing.
Yep. So we've got a wonderful musical guest for you at the end of this episode. You're already familiar with the wonderful Marlene Sosaby. We've played her music for you before. Yep. So this song is going to be the song Live It Up. Live It Up.
Yeah. Oh, and as always, we need to shout out to the composer of our fantastic theme song, Michael Herron. You can check out his work at michaelherron.com. He's been posting videos from his live sold-out show that he performed in New York City. So that's really great. They're really great videos. So you can check those out. And then also the designer of our logo and characters, Kelly Huffine. You can check out more of her work at kelly42fox.deviantart.com.
Absolutely. And a big shout out.
Of course, as always, we have to thank our official sponsor, Sunshine Villa. We love you, Sunshine.
Our first official sponsor.
She brought you this episode.
And my new, I don't know what our relationship is, whether we are husband and wife or hoe and pimp, but we are in a complicated relationship now on Facebook. And I'm just going to say,
awesome.
It is getting as serious as it is tumultuous.
How funny.
Yeah. So, I think we can agree that Marlene Sosaby's Live It Up is definitely being dedicated to a good friend of ours. Yeah. I honestly don't know who wants to break this news.
It's okay. So we're really sad to share this with you all, but we thought it was important. You guys know we interviewed the great vegan athlete Bud Burdick, and while he was in the hospital being treated for leukemia, and he sadly passed away on April 27th. So, I say it with a very heavy heart.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to dedicate this episode to Bud because, we loved him and we're really sad that he's gone.
Yeah, I just wanted to read a little something from his obituary here. At age 28, Bud Burdick passed away on April 27th, 2013. Bud fought a courageous battle with AML leukemia since July of 2012. Bud graduated from the Aquinas Institute in 2002, Monroe Community College 2009, and the University of Brockport in 2011 with degrees in business and dance. Bud is survived by his father, Francis Cynthia Blair Burdick, brother Frank Burdick, mother Iris Werner, and half-brother James, and longtime friends John, Parker, and Don. Per Bud's wishes, no services will be held. To honor Bud's love of animals, memorials may be made to Guiding Eyes for the Blind at 611 Granite Springs Road in Yorktown Heights, New York, 10598, to the attention of Lynn Schulman. We will post that information in the show notes as well, so that if you want to honor Bud's memory with a donation, to one of his favorite organizations, you may. And I just want to give a quick shout out and hug to, all of Bud's good friends, who were really there by his side at the end, his great friend Andreas and Lo V and Sophia, vegan pancake queen, who would visit him like 3-4 times a week. She'd go to his bedside and she'd cook for him, and just, it was wonderful to know he had so many wonderful friends by his side. And, he left this world really knowing he was loved. And we thought it would be fitting to just quickly share with you guys just a little short audio replay from our interview with him. So here is Bud Burdick sharing about his positive mental attitude.
Even when I look back on the past 2 times I was in, like, I don't remember being in pain. I don't remember chemicals. I don't remember feeling tired or this or that. I usually remember the times when people were here and we're laughing and we're talking and they're keeping me company. That's really the best part of it all.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at my blog, but my recent post was about the year 2012 for me. And I was saying that 2012 was an awesome year. Sure, I had a broken nose, I had a hernia, I got cancer. Those things happen. But it was, looking back on it all, it's all perception. Like, I just think about the good times. Like I said, the people visiting, games we played. I had a friend who was reading a book to me, which was amazing because, when you're feeling terrible and you don't really feel like talking, but you want somebody's company and they read to you, it's a heartwarming thing. But yeah, it's just keeping your cool throughout it all. And, I'm convinced that, some hardships are worse than others, but any hardship that comes your way, you just got to not see it as a hardship. You got to look on the bright side and take what you can that's positive out of it. And like I said, the friendships that have grown and the relationships that have endured throughout this, really, really show me, that people care and I have this support system, and it really just helps, provide me with the desire to just, stay positive and really try to inspire others.
We love you, Bud, and we will miss you.
Yeah. Well, that's terribly sad.
That's terribly sad, but you know what? We're still here, and there are still animals that need us, and soon to be former meat eaters who need us, and lots of idiots out there who need us to pass judgment on them. So
that is definitely what I'm here for. I know all about that.
So that's all we've got for today at Big Fat Vegan Radio. Please subscribe to us through iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. It's extra helpful if you can give us an awesome rating and a glowing review on the iTunes Music Store.
And be sure to let us know what you thought of this episode on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet, leave us a voicemail, or leave us a comment at bigfatveganradio.com. We love to hear from you. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Laura.
Have a great day, everyone. Oh, and one more thing.
What could that possibly be? Go vegan!
Everyone you know, the Don't ever give up. Live it up. Never give up. Live it up. Don't ever give up.
I literally have a friend waiting across the street at a coffee shop to come over in a little bit. So I think we're pretty close to done. Let's see if we can finish up in like 10 minutes.
We can
It'd be
skip
awesome.
the last email if you want. Let's just save it for another episode, okay?
I don't mind at all. I mean,
Ben, I'm making a suggestion to make things go faster. You should just accept it.
I mean, he's perfectly fine waiting. He just texted
Ben,
me.
let's
He's like,
just skip to the end. We don't need to do that email. We'll do it another time.
okay.
Don't be grumpy.
I'd rather get back to her on it soon. It sounds like she's going through it.
She can wait.
Okay.
Trust me, your friend is going to be glad that I made you do this.
Okay. All right.
It's fine.
No, man.
Oh, now it has to happen. Ooh, look at that.
Ah.